Hello and welcome to the watering hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm not seeing... Oh, yeah, my audio is going through. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Oh, goodness me. So this is my first stream on the watering hole channel, and it's not a stream without a technical glitch, and I've just noticed that my chat is impossible to read because it's the wrong color. Because apparently Stream Elements, you can't just copy stuff in between accounts. You have to redo everything from scratch.
Oh, all right.
So
I wouldn't know. As I said, I'm kind of a neophyte when it comes to technology. I have no idea how I gained a following on the internet. I can barely use it, so...
I don't know what's going on with this thing. If I can't, I'm trying one more thing. If it doesn't work, it's just gonna... Oh, there we go. There we go. Got it.
Awesome.
Okay. So, yeah, this is my first stream on the new channel. As such, it's a little bit of a smaller audience than normal. It's only about 30 people, which I guess is a good audience for some channels.
It would be pretty good for mine, but...
Yeah, well... Yeah, I'm kind of going to pop back and forth between, like, I'm going to stream this week here and then next week at the other one or whatever. So that way we can kind of shepherd more people over there. People are wondering why it's Thursday. Why do we keep thinking it's Friday? Because tomorrow's a PD day for my kids, so they're home from school. So it feels like Friday.
What's a PD?
Professional Development Day.
Oh,
it's
right.
Like for teachers to write up their report cards and crap.
Ah, yes. Overrated.
Yeah, and then like the last day of school is a Thursday, and instead of just calling the Thursday the last day of school, they have called the Friday a PD day. It's like,
I mean, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, go off, I guess.
I guess that's a way to like just have the teachers get paid for the last day or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's just funny because it means nothing to the people that are actually like in the school. Or the parents.
Yeah. So how are you today? We didn't really do
Yes, I'm good.
Tech supporting.
It's like 85 degrees here and I'm outside all day, so it was extremely warm.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I got distracted by tech stuff. I didn't introduce you. So joining me today is Heathen Queen. Welcome.
Me, Mario. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Applause and everything. All right. Oh, this is going well. All right. So we're going to get into some news, starting with, did you get a chance to read the articles? I know you had a busy day.
Yeah, I skimmed through them. Some of them I had already sort of seen and read, but I have a basic feel for what we're talking about. And to be honest, I'm often better off the cuff.
Yeah, I have a highlighting app, so I remember which parts of the article I want to talk about. And there's actually a problem with this one because there's a big old picture of a Facebook post in the middle of it that I want to address some in the middle of this thing, but I can't remember where.
Oh,
I'll figure it out, maybe. So yeah, anyway, we're going to start with the school board candidate checked out LGBTQ library books so that kids can't read them. Oh, Hemant, you caved. Hemant gave her the headline that she wanted. Because that's one of the bits in here is that the other news source that reported on them, Frederick News Post, which I guess is a local paper, she actually called them and was like, "Hey, you need to change your headline from, a school board person checks out books so that nobody can read them to check them out so that kids can't read them."
Yeah, I mean, it's like the age-old tactic, right? You do something and then you spin it in such a way that it's like protecting children, and then nobody can really, come at you. I mean, obviously they can, but it's just the same old bullshit.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it when we get to her Facebook post, but like, all right, so anyway, it's Pride Month. Libraries are putting displays up for Pride Month. And so this was the Brunswick Public Library. And so the lady who did this, she's actually a candidate for the school board in Brunswick.
She is.
And just icing on the cake, she homeschools her kids, so she doesn't even have any skin in the game. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, nothing says I care about public schools like keeping your kids out of them and then running for the board so you can help control them. Like, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Sorry. It's just like so on brand for Christians. It's just painful. It's painful.
Yeah, so the reasoning behind it, she said she was worried it would prompt age inappropriate questions from young children. She said she didn't want her three children to see the word queer on a book, and she,
How would her children see them? They don't go there.
well, apparently she'd noticed it when she took her kids there, and she like shepherded them past the display really quickly, put them in the kids section, then went to talk to the manager
Oh God,
because she's a,
Karen, please.
yeah, she's a literal Karen. She asked them to move the books out of the main lobby area and put it somewhere more private. So like do the thing that convenience stores do with their porn section and just
Oh
have
my
like behind a
God.
curtain or something. But she says it has nothing to do with the gay community. It has to do with the preservation of innocence. That's a load of bullshit right there.
Yeah, I mean, why would we need what about being LGBTQ is a corruption of innocence? That's like saying like, well, I don't want people to know that people are in heterosexual or children know that people are in heterosexual relationships because it might corrupt them.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. So the books that she
Sorry.
checked out. No, absolutely. I'm just you're the fact that you're able to anticipate exactly where this is headed.
Just yeah, like I think maybe so I actually don't know did you grow up or were you ever a part of the church?
Yes, my mother is actually a lay worship leader in the United Church of Canada.
Ah,
Now
okay.
they are a more progressive church. I think, they were the first church in Canada that performed gay weddings.
Oh, all right.
I was actually at the annual general meeting where they decided that it was okay to be gay. And
So
I actually remember
glad they were able to
they
come
put
to
on a
that.
little play where they had like a guy who was like anti homosexual, like virulently anti homosexual, and it was like kind of like a Wonderful Life scenario where, but
Right.
instead of like he's dead now, it's now you have the power to see who is gay, and and the way he saw it was like everybody's shaded blue, like, and the more blue you are, the more gay you are, and the message was everybody's a little gay.
That's funny.
And yeah, actually thinking back on it, it was a great play, but I was actually I had self radicalized, so I was like very much no, this is not good. Why are they doing this?
And yeah,
But
I grew up a conservative evangelical. So they're not very, the problem with conservative evangelicals is they're not very original.
no,
They kind of have like one basic script. So you could say ex evangelical did this, and I could probably tell you where that story is going to end.
yeah,
Right? They have like the same six arguments that they run over and over and over again, uh, and none of them are good. So like, yeah, as soon as you're like, oh, she's getting taking these books out of the library, and here's her crappy moral arguments, like, yep, heard them, lived them, wrong.
yeah. So the books that she was taking out that she's worried that they're going to corrupt her children's
Right.
innocence. They were books about LGBTQ history before Stonewall. So if you're not familiar, Stonewall is that was the riot. That is the reason Pride Month is June.
Right.
It was a gay nightclub in I think it was Manhattan, was it? Greenwich Village.
Yes.
It was a gay nightclub in Greenwich Village. Got raided by the police. The police were you read the history of it. They were doing crazy shit. Like any guy dressed up in drag was immediately arrested.
Yeah.
Women, if they were not wearing at least 3 items of feminine clothing, they were arrested. Like what? I read that and it was just like, what the fuck? Like even for the 1960s, that's
It's so wild.
what counts? Like
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show that, like, unsurprisingly, people have no understanding of history at all because the fact that we've feminized certain clothings now, like, people's heads would explode if they, like, went back in time a little bit and saw what, like, was considered manly
yeah,
or masculine clothing, right? Like, that
Jesus
now we're
wore
like,
a
nope,
dress.
come on.
Like they always have them in the. It's not a dress, but like
Well, no, no, I know. Like,
it's like
I ask people that often, like, so y'all that are so concerned with males wearing dresses, right? What do you think you're going to be wearing when you go to heaven?
long flowy robes.
Some Wranglers? Like you are going to be in a robe, there are going to be no pant legs.
Yeah.
You would call it a dress. Like,
Well, one of the other books that she checked out was literally a biography written by a gay man. So that's like if I were to go to the like or just flip the script a little bit. Have a gay person go into the library. They see a biography of Neil Armstrong and they say, "I don't want to sexualize my kids," because I'm sure it mentions in that biography at some point that he was married to a woman. Like that's what this is. That's the same level.
yeah, it comes down to Christians thinking that, at least conservative evangelical Christians, I don't want to get people like, not all Christians, I don't care, um, thinking that they have the moral high ground and that everyone needs to conform to their idea of morality. Most of them don't even know that the word homosexual wasn't in the Bible until 1946, right? And like, we don't have to talk about that now, but it's like, if you don't even know that,
Yeah.
why are we all being subject to your like dumbass moral standards? Sorry, am I allowed to cuss on this channel? I just
Fucking
assume
A, yeah. Fucking yeah.
you invited me on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Swear your ass off. But yeah, so Hemant says it's not about preserving innocence. It's about making sure LGBTQ students continue to struggle because people like Fletcher don't give a shit about them. Isn't Hemant the friendly atheist? Like, when you get Hemant saying shit like that about you, it's like,
I mean,
you done something wrong. You done fucked up if Hemant's talking
he's
shit.
friendly if you like compare him to me. No, no, he does. I mean, generally speaking, he seems very friendly. But yeah, if he's saying like, you just don't want people to give a shit about these people or these kids, then like maybe you should just like take a step back. I know you got like only two brain cells up here competing for third place, but use them and think about why that might be.
Well, probably. So this is probably my favorite part of the story. The reason I picked this up, my dad is a librarian, so when we get to her Facebook post later, the guy that she went to talk to would be my dad in the library that he had worked at. It, like, literally that was his job. So I know a little bit about how libraries work,
Right.
just from osmosis, I guess. But so she checks out these books from the display. It's like, it's a library. They have multiple copies of the same book often.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they have other books from the same category. As soon as she left, that display got restocked immediately.
Brain
And
small.
on top of that, not only did they just restock the shelf right after she left, the libraries decide which books to order more copies of based on how frequently they get checked out. So she literally did that was the equivalent of going to a YouTube video that you hate and hitting the like button.
Yeah, logic is not abundant.
Not
in these
that
folks.
the dislike button does anything anymore. It's like, it's supposed to like send a message directly to the creator so that they can still see the metrics, but it doesn't, like, it makes it harder to do a pile on or whatever.
Right.
It's like, I never look at my channel's overall, like, I only ever looked at the individual video, so I don't see it anymore now that they've changed that.
I don't care. It's like when people come onto my TikToks and they say something like hate comment, right? Like, you're just running me up the algorithm. So like, carry on.
Yeah, there's one guy on my channel. He, every now and then, I actually got an email from him recently because I guess he's frustrated with me supposedly deleting his comments from my YouTube channel.
Like, I don't care about you.
Yeah, no, and some of them get through. I've seen him on my channel before. I know that some of them get through, but like, YouTube has something where like they'll just random, like, it seems random, but like, I think they have an AI that's flagging it for, I don't know what.
Something.
I have very little control over that. If I turn off, like, I can turn that on or off. If I turn it off, then a bunch of those spammy click this link that will give you a virus comments get through. And if I turn it on, then some people like him get caught up in it, but whatever. But yeah, he sent me this really long-winded email about how cowardly I am for censoring him from my channel. Meanwhile, I'm just like, no, man, if like, I don't have enough time to go on my channel and delete comments from people I don't like. Like, that's just you being enough of a douche that YouTube's AI picks up on it.
Yeah, and also, like, get a fucking hobby. If you're noticing that you comment something and it's deleted, like, how much time are you spending on my videos.
Yeah,
Like, get it
but
together. You're a grown man.
He's driving the algorithm for me, so I'm not going to stop him.
Okay,
Like,
keep
go
it up,
for it.
I guess. I know there's this one guy, I think it's a guy, I think his name's like Patrick something, I don't know. He comments on every single video I post on TikTok. And it would seem he's a Christian and he just can't get over the fact that I talk about the problems of Christianity. And it's just like, it's so wild to me because he keeps commenting and I keep telling him, like, dog, more people are seeing my video because you're commenting, and you're going to see more videos like mine because
you're engaging
commenting.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but keep it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how YouTube figures out what you want to see, is what you engage with the most.
Right.
All right, so this is her Facebook post. I don't want to read the whole thing, but yeah, so she asked the librarian at the information desk if I could speak to whomever was in charge when the librarian in charge came out. So that would be my dad. You go to the information desk and ask for whoever's in charge over here. My dad
Right.
comes out.
Can I speak to a manager?
Yeah.
You sure can.
Yeah, so let's see. All the books on the display were adult books. Now, this is adult in that they were not targeted at children. This is not adult as in sexually explicit. But she compares it. Where are we? I really wish I could have highlighted this, but it's a picture. I suppose I could have clicked on the link and gone to her Facebook page and like highlighted it there, but that seems like
No, don't
work.
engage.
Yeah. Where are we? Okay, yeah. So my concerns are not specific to LGBTQ plus materials. I have plenty of concerns about heterosexual themes and sexual content too. If there had been books on display of inappropriate romance novels like 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James, or movies with violence or sexual pictures on the cover, I would have grabbed those books and or movies and done the same thing. Now, first off, I doubt that. I feel like she's the kind of person that, like, everybody knows she's anti-LGBTQ, so her checking out the books is, like, under protest. But if she's checking out, like, if she would be too embarrassed to check out 50 Shades of Grey, it's like, no, I'm checking it out so that the kids don't see it. That's why, like, yeah, no, nobody would believe that.
No,
and
but also because you haven't gotten laid in 20 years, but hey, who am I to judge?
But also, like, this goes back to my point where, like, one of them was a biography. Like, that's not sexual content. This is what happened in this guy's life.
Because Christians sexualize everything. And the only thing that they can see, or the only way that they understand the LGBTQ community is in the context of people having sex. That's it, right? Like, people are just having a relationship. Yes, sex is a part of it, but there's nothing inherently sexual about being part of the LGBTQ community, just like there's nothing inherently sexual about being a heterosexual person, right? Like, I could be attracted to men. That's not sexually explicit in and of itself. It's just, yeah, Christians are, I will die on this hill, are the most hypersexual people on earth. Everything is about sex with them. And the fact of the matter is that, like, there's nothing sexual, like you said, about a biography written by a gay man. There's nothing inherently sexual about the Stonewall riots. People having rights was the thing at stake. And the only reason that she is saying this is because it gives her some stupid moral argument that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, so apparently her oldest kid is 10 years old. And Hemant said, if that kid has to live with a homophobic mother, then he's old enough to know what she's ranting about.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Like, I guarantee it. Like, they say that they don't want their kids exposed to that sort of thing. I guarantee you, their kids are exposed to it far more through hearing them rant and rave about it than they would be if they just accepted it.
Like, as a child that grew up evangelical, I swear to God, I heard so much more about being gay or lesbian or whatever than I would have if I had just existed and then at some point met someone that had two moms or two dads and was like, yeah, I have two moms. All right. Like, the problem is, like, the incessant talking about it, where it's like, it's just this weird obsession. It's such a weird obsession.
It is. So, fun fact: my daughter has several LGBTQ friends, and they in their little chat group, they call themselves the homosexuals
That's funny.
because they're homies.
I love that. There's a neighborhood where I live. So the city I live in has like different areas have different like nicknames. And there's one that's called like Haven Court. But for some reason, there's just like a ton of like LGBTQ people there, and so they all call it Gavin's Court. I love it. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so just because she wants to keep her own kids ignorant about gender identity, sexual orientation, and American history doesn't mean everyone else's kids have to live in the dark. Yep.
Right.
And then he ends by pointing out that she homeschools her kids. So it says that decision, of course, that's her decision, of course, but that means her entire campaign is a larger version of her library stunt. She's trying to inject herself into a world she doesn't understand and wants no part of. Also, she can ruin the experience for everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what world she does understand. Um, but it isn't this one. It's not reality.
I could not have said that better myself.
Yeah. No. Just yikes.